Steven, how do you say your last name? Because nobody in this fucking building knows how to say it, and I feel like...
It's cow. Like a cow.
Like, just like cow.
Cow.
Motherfuckers in here are like, chow, cow. I'm like, he doesn't have a fucking accent. I'm like, I've talked to Steven before. Like...
Yeah, growing up in grade school, it's always like KO, chow. Some people say cow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cow.
All right, cool. So I've been running a trainer.
Okay.
It's my Don't Call It a Comeback trainer. And what we're sitting here looking at is pretty much my grocery list of what I'll be eating and the breakdown to my meals and, you know, pretty much the ounces of protein and the amount of carbs I'll be intaking for the program. Now, the program's built off of burning fat and putting on muscle mass.
Okay.
You know, obviously a lot of people say it's impossible. I sit here and I stare at you and I say, yeah, it is impossible. But this isn't the normal program, obviously. You know, I'm not a pro. I'm not up on there on that level. But fortunately, I have you, and I can come to you for advice when it comes down to this.
Yeah.
So in-house, I know you've probably seen all diets, probably tried them all, and you break them down yourself. So pretty much how mine is ranged would be I go heavy carb pretty much in the morning, and then throughout the day, I do very, very little carbs with high protein, and then at night I hit another heavy load of carbs as well too. And I mean, I've been running the diet for some time now, and at first I was thinking to myself, this sounds insane, you know, eating this many carbs at night, but I just feel like through the day I'm starving, and when I see the load of carbs, I mean, I've been eating 14 ounces of white potato. Pretty much.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's a lot.
At dinner. And I'm eating it and I'm like, dude, I am sweating right now. I'm like, I don't know if it's...
I think what it is, I mean, you are consuming a lot of food. And just depending on your activity level, whether if you're, you know, really active when you're training, like... Yeah. I mean, if you're training really hard, like, you're going to be burning, like, a ton of calories. It's so hard to really just put down the X amount of calories or carbs that a person can... manage just because you don't know how hard you're training. Like, you could be training harder than this person, you know?
Yeah.
So this person might need as much, like, carbs.
So how my training goes is I usually wake up first thing in the morning pretty early. I do fasted cardio, obviously, because like you said, I need to burn the calories, obviously, if I'm going to be consuming them. So I do fasted cardio in the morning. And then after my workouts, I do another session of cardio. And now every 2 weeks... I'm starting at 20 minutes of cardio, and every 2 weeks, my cardio is going up by 5 minutes.
Is that for fasted and post? So you're doing 20
fasted and post.
So 40 minutes total a day you're doing?
40 total a day, but as the diet changes, obviously, due to body weight and measurements, you know, I'm not just going off a scale. So I'll have my measurements done, and then we go back into it, and then we look at where I'm at, and then we go into counting the macros. But say, for instance, so... Pretty much an example of the cardio would be week 1, week 2, I do 20 minutes of cardio twice a day. Week 3, week 4, I do 25 minutes twice a day. Then 5, 6, 30, and 7 and 8, 35 twice a day. So I'm not trying to overload the cardio. But in my experience, I always feel, I'm not sure how much cardio you do, but I've always felt that cardio is like king. Like, I always felt like, dude, if you get the cardio in, like... You're good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the cardio is just like the base where, like, just being in shape, if you're able to do up to an hour of cardio a day, like, you're going to look a certain way, you know? So I think what you have set up right here is pretty good, where you're tapering up your cardio. I think that's really ideal. You don't want to just go in there and just do an hour. Just do it, you know? Like, you want to just monitor and see how you respond to things, because say you're only doing 20 minutes and you're getting leaner, you're staying full, like... You can maintain that until you hit a plateau. Then from there, you can increase the cardio. Because some people, they just have this misconception, like, oh, like, I'm not losing weight fast enough, so, like, I'm going to do an hour and, like, kind of, like, pull back carbs, too, on top of it. So it's just, like, they're really just, like, depleting themselves. And it's just so hard for their metabolism to, like, really adapt to that. So I think what you have set up is really good so far.
Oh, well, that's good. You know, obviously, your word goes a long way for me in my book and everybody who's watching. So the great thing about that is, too, is... I've done a program before where I ran, obviously, another trainer. I made slight adjustments to it, but when I noticed that I did over about 45 minutes of cardio twice a day, every day, I noticed that when I got down to my final week and I finally trimmed down and the program was all said and done, I looked great. I can't complain.
Yeah.
But my back/chest, and I lack sometimes on my back, but my back and chest just didn't stay as big as I wanted them to. And I noticed now this time around when Davi rewrote the diet, he's like, we're going to have you eating. Yeah. So if you're going to be eating, you're going to have to be burning as well.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a good idea because, I mean, like for me, like when I prep for a show, like leading up to the last weeks, I'm doing the same thing. I'm pushing cardio 50 minutes twice a day, but then I'll be pushing food too. Yeah. Because I'm already, it comes down to where your body state is. If you're already at a leaner state, you can push that food, and you're obviously not getting fat because you're pushing all this cardio, you're training. But I think that's smart to do because maybe before in the past, like you were following the trainer and you were pretty depleted from all the cardio and the training. Yeah. So from there, I think you kind of almost have to like reverse diet in a way. You know, start pushing food back in, maybe pull back on the cardio a little bit, just re-monitor the whole system, and then from there, just go based on like where you're starting, not your starting point, but the point that you're at now in the program.
And to take it from there. Okay, cool. I actually, well, I mean, that's big right there. I mean, obviously, not all of us are on the level you're on right now, so your expertise kicks in a lot. And again, some people forget, you know, from where you're standing and me on the comeback side, you going to stage, you already have, I would say, a much bigger gauge on your muscle maturity. Like, you know, you're at like peaking points. Like your growth is on another level. And then where we're coming back, it's like, all right, let's loosen up that belt and and let's get this running. So, all right, cool. So I'm glad to see that this is something that you would improve on because, I mean, not for nothing. I think that's the body type people need to strive for. So,
I mean, what you have set up is pretty good. Like the whole concept you're saying, like losing fat, building muscle. Yeah. Within this program, it's still possible, but you know, obviously you have to lose the fat first, and then from there you can build on. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll tell you, meal 2 through 5, this 40 grams of rice. That's not 40 grams of carbs. That's 40 grams of rice. I mean, do you have a meal that looks that sad in your diet? Like, do you have the meal that you look at and you go, what am I doing right now?
I mean, like, from here I see, like, you split it throughout the meals, like 40, 40, 40. So, just me personally, like, eating 40 grams of rice with one meal is just not really, like, that much. So what I would do is put the carbs around my training. So maybe for my pre-workout meal, I'll do 80 grams of rice. Post-workout, I'll do 80 grams and just zero carb it for the rest of the day, just because when you have that rice, it's gonna spike your insulin slightly, and then from there you're just gonna get cravings and cravings. But then again, it really depends on your body type. You know, if you're someone that just needs carbs every meal and you just need to, so you don't get the crazy cravings or whatever, you just need it just to maintain yourself, then you can do that. Yeah. But just me personally, I'd rather just have it around my training and then just zero carb it for the remainder of the day.
I'll tell you, I'm not sure. You know, if you've ever done multi-varieties on diets, like for preps, obviously, I know going to shows are very important for you because you're on a competition level. The beginning, I was eating, I would say, like a cup and a half of oatmeal, and it was just driving me insane.
It's like a lot for you?
At first it was. And now, like, when I wake up, I'm like, yo, I need more than this. And I'm losing weight, but, like, when I get to these 4 meals, I'm like, I'm just dreaming of those potatoes at night. And when they go away, I'm like, man, this is terrible.
Yeah, the potatoes are so good, especially like some steak or something. It's almost like a cheat meal. It's weird.
Yeah. It really helps out. I mean, I know they're not French fries, but anything you can season and bake, I mean, I'll take.
Well, that's a good indicator for you to know that you're in a good spot, because when you're craving like that, I mean, you're obviously in a deficit for the week. You know, you might have higher carb days certain days, but just generally for the week, you're probably in a deficit. So your body's just craving this stuff, you know, and you're obviously losing body fat in the meantime. So,
hey, if this is an approved message by you, then I'm going to take it. I'm going to run with it, and I'm not going to let you down too, because obviously you're stamping it. So I'm going to make sure these people see at the end of this trainer, everything's going to work out. And if not, I'm just going to edit my head on this body. So that's how it's going to go.
I think it'll work out in your favor, man. Just based on the looks of it, I think it'll work great, you know, just tapering up the cardio. and just monitoring your food.
Nice.
That's good, man.
Well, if I run into any troubles, I'm gonna give you a call and we'll sort this out together.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna go get into a workout and some other fun stuff. Stay posted, BPI Sports.